This is Lady Maya. I have Mr. Nolen. I'm saying it wrong, right? It's Nolen.
It is Nolen Davis. Absolutely.
But I'm like Nolen.
Yeah, no problem. You sounded like you had an accent with it. I was like, this is different. This is nice.
You know what? I have so many different accents. It's not even funny. Everybody is like, man, who am I talking to today? Don't worry about it.
Okay. All right. All right.
It'll be fun. Okay. Mr. Nolen has the Up Social Network, the Video Inc, has StepUP Radio, has the TPG, The Perfect Gentleman. Yes. Okay. And he is on the Guinness Book of Records. You guys, he's a producer for like corporate commercials. Like, yeah. I'm like, okay, I know another producer. All right. So we're gonna ask Mr. Nolen to say hello to the people.
Hey, how's everybody doing out there? I want to first and foremost, before we get started, I want to thank you for having me on your show. I appreciate that, and it's an honor to be here.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you, sir. Perfectly. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you this. Why? Why did you decide to start your first company? Like, what was your turning point?
So when you say my first company, my first company is not on that list. So my first company, I started my first company when I was 19 years old. I just always felt like, I give you a story. I'm gonna give you a story. So if anybody, I'm in a t-shirt now because we're in a quarantine, right? But anybody who sees me knows that I wear suits all the time. My very first job was at a suit place, right? And I was 19 years old. And I was killing it with the suits. And I remember loving what I do because I like putting everything together in fashion, right? The ties with the pockets squared, the cufflinks, and all the things that make things pop that led me to Perfect Gentleman. So I remember one day I came in and everything looked different, right? And I was probably 20 at the time. I've been there about a year. And I started there when I was 19. I looked in and everything just was looking different to me. And I was looking at it and I was like, nah. Usually I come in, I'm excited. I'm like, what do we have in today? Looking at the new fashions, I could tell people what's gonna pop. And I just came in and was like, So I took my that day, like 20 minutes later, I took my boss or my manager to the side and I said, you know what? I feel different today. He was like, what do you mean? I was like, I feel like I'm over this whole situation. Like I feel like my work here is done, right? He was like, are you putting in your 2-week notice? I was like, what's that? Like, this was my first job. He was like, 2 weeks? I was like, no, dude, I literally was telling you goodbye as I was going to get my coat. I lived in Chicago. So I'm like, I got to bundle up. I got the gloves and stuff to put on, the scully I got to put on. Like, dude, I'm walking out. I'm giving you my 2-minute notice. He was like, dude, you can't do that. I was like, I can't? Watch me, right? And so when I left, I was almost 20 at the time. I had been there almost a year. And then I started my first company. And I just felt like I had a t-shirt company. I started with my brother, big shout out to Will Green. Started it with my brother and we was, I didn't know any better, but I was doing illegal Bulls t-shirts because we come up with our own Bull designs, right? And so I was selling them downtown. He could draw really well. I had him biting down on the Bull itself was biting down on the Utah Jazz tickets. We drew it out. Everybody was like, where did y'all get that shirt from? I was like, bow, we made it. $10, let's get it popping. So that's how we started. And man, from then, it was just like, I always had a business off and on since I was 19, some type of business, some extra stream.
What happened later? What was next? Because you have so many different things.
So you know what, it's just as evolution. So I can tell you, and I'm not bragging, this is the first place I've ever said what I'm about to say.
Uh-oh.
All right, exclusive. I'm just it is exclusive, but people go to have their lips twisted up like, yeah, right. So Here's the thing. I literally came up with the idea. I had a company called ecities.com, and it was like an electronic city. And what I wanted to do, because everything was a website at that time, it was just a website for this, just a website for that. And so I almost wanted it to be like a virtual city. So it would be almost like a mall. So if you wanted to get clothing, you would go to the clothing part of the city, right? And all the stores would be there. If you wanted to go to health and beauty, you would go to the health and beauty part of the city. And so I was really trying to put that whole thing together. Didn't have the money or the bandwidth or the know-how, but it was a great idea. So I have all of these different ideas. And I literally had the website, ecities.com. And man, big shout out to Hilton Towers, Anton Hilton, that's what I call him. He, he put the site together for me. I was putting it out there and I was using Ebates, which was like rebates. So I wanted people to buy from me. So it was all of these different things. I had rebates from, Best Buy, from Barnes and Noble, from all of these big places that if you bought from me online, when people were still thinking about just going to the stores, you could literally get a check in the mail. So it was it was kind of like I set up a bunch of affiliate networks. So, and then I would give you a percentage of it back as an Ebate, because Ebates was big and we're just getting started at that time, but Ebates.com is big right now. So I just always got an idea, and it's more important for me to develop my idea than just to run out here and just try to sign contracts and make money. It's something about that for me. And everybody is different, right? So the best thing for me is to figure out how I can bring an idea to fruition and make money off of it, and everybody wins. Everything I do is on a win-win situation, to where it's not just me getting the money, but I'm making an impact as well, and I'm helping others get the money, or kind of like they say in Think and Grow Rich. The more people you help get what they want, the more you get what you want. So I kind of made it a 2020 phrase, to where I say the bigger the impact, the bigger the bag, right? So that's what we're looking at. So I'm always thinking about making the impact more than making the money, because if you make a true impact, the money will always come. Right,
So
absolutely.
I totally understand what you say in reference to that. And I only want to do the same thing, for my podcast and for my YouTube channel, only because like there's so many people struggling already. And so I just want to be the light, for some people, and help them understand that they're not alone. You can talk about it. It's okay. Because like in my community, it was never okay to talk about anything. It was just like, you keep it to yourself, you close your door, you go in there and you figure it out. And so now it's like, no, you gotta open the door, you guys. Just open the door.
So I was just about to ask, so what's happened to you to where you have this big heart to do this? Because in certain situations, you're gonna come out one way or the other, right? And that's exactly how I see it. Something traumatic, or something that left an impression on your life, right, happened to you, and it didn't go the way that you felt like it should have gone. And so the two ways that you can come out is, I'm going to fight for everybody who's going for that and make it easier, which means you have a big loving heart, or screw them because nobody helped me, and that's what it is. I got my hickeys and you got to get your hickeys. So usually you come out one way or the other. So what happened to you to where you have this big heart to be the light for others?
Okay, well, I've always had a big heart. I was literally born in church on a Wednesday night.
Okay.
And so I got both sides, my mother's side and my father's side, they were like so faith oriented, and it just poured into me. So it was always like, give unto others as you would want unto you. And so, you know, with all the blows of life, made it a lot more difficult to do so. And I took people for their word, and their word wasn't really worth much. And so I had to learn. But I said, you know what? I get to the point this way. I don't care what happens to me. Just don't let nothing happen to my kids, because I'm going to have a real problem, real problem. Luckily, I'm an empty nester.
Boom.
I do want to make it easier for everyone, you know, not just my children, my mother, you know, my husband, his mother, his children. I want everybody to be okay. That's all I want. But at the same time, I want to give so much more, because I'm like, sometimes I feel like I have an overflow of it. It's too much.
Right. So, you know, a lot of that comes from wanting to be legendary, right? You have so much to give, and we have a short period of time on this planet, but how do we literally make this thing? And I know we're going through the coronavirus, but how do we make goodness and love and giving back almost as viral or contagious as this virus epidemic pandemic that we're going through right now, right? And so, you know, a lot of times we have to withstand the hardest situations and make the ultimate sacrifice, because love, in my opinion, love is sacrifice. There's nobody that you truly love that you've not sacrificed something for. Even if it's just your brother talking crazy and you like, I wish you would shut up. I'm gonna sacrifice for not punching you in the face right now. But you know what I'm saying? I don't care what it is. It's sacrifice. It's definitely a give and a take.
Yeah.
You know, the people with that warrior heart. And when I say warrior heart, I mean the warriors of the village literally would make the ultimate sacrifice for the village, for the greater good, right? Right. Not just this immediate right now. It would be for the greater good, right?
I want the war. Yes.
Exactly. We have to make sure the whole village is taken care of. So what do we have to do collectively? What do we have to do from a long-term vision standpoint?
Yeah.
How do we piece this thing together? So yeah, I could tell something, but that is a great story that you have. I was born in church. Like, that's like the starting of a great book. Like I'm like, I don't even, I was like, tell me more. Like, I need to know all of it, right? He was like, it all started on a Wednesday on this day when I was born in church. Like, I need to know the whole schematics of that story. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I need to know who was screaming, if they were shouting, if they was praying, I need to know all of it. You know what I mean? So I'll wait till you write the book and read up. I'll wait for that.
You're awesome. Okay, let me ask you this. With the production aspect, okay, of your companies and the corporate
video production
environment,
okay.
With the corporate environment, because I know that's kind of difficult, because a lot of times they're so fickle about the things that they want. Are you finding now, like, I'm not sure if you're still doing that or if you still have your hands in it.
Do.
Are you finding now that it's more difficult to actually sell it now, because everything is so digital, and the only things that really get seen are so insane? Like, you have to have like a very insane, let me grab your attention, let me take your throat kind of situation, you know, when it comes to people, because now nobody has the you know, the attention. Like,
right. Everybody has ADD.
Yeah.
Right. So all right. So here's the thing. So our phones is what creates the ADD, because everything is popping and this, that, and the other, and now we need everything to be popping. So here's the thing. when it comes to the video production part of things, it depends. There's a couple of different situations where literally I cheat. And what I mean by I cheat is that, let's say you came to me, Maya, and you said, I want to do a video of who I am. Now, I cheat because I have vision. And when I say vision, I don't mean like great ideas I have vision of the potential that you have. So when I sit down and I speak with you, like we were talking before we started going live right now, right? If I don't talk to everybody that way, okay? I just want you to understand that. Some people I'm like, wait, I'm here for the show, sure. What do you want to talk about? Let's go, Bob. I'm here right now. Like, you know, you get what I'm saying? We kind of had a little heart to heart because I literally, God has blessed me with the gift of vision to where I can literally see people's potential before a lot of times people see it themselves. Right. Now, the gift and the curse for that whole situation, the gift is now I can take my camera and show you what I see in you, and you think it's a great video because you haven't even arrived there yet, right? So I use that gift that I have to do that. But the other part of it is that if I don't like your ass, I can't do a video for you. I don't care if you said, if you took one of it's really only one dude that I really can't stand on this planet, right? That I wish a plane would fall out the sky. But
anyway, wow, that's deep. It's real only deep, one. Huh?
I'm gonna tell you another secret. Today is my birthday. Like today.
Oh, happy birthday, sir! Happy birthday! Happy birthday!
So I was gonna say, in 47 years, this is the only dude that I want to see something happen to in 47 years. Wow. I ain't talking about just bumping heads with cats like punching in the face. Like I didn't punch people in the face and we didn't have graham crackers later and broke it on the line like you are, like they do in the movies, right? Yes. But this dude, I want something to happen to this dude, right? But so I'm saying that to say, if I don't like you, I don't care what you pay me. I can't make a great video because my video is gonna come out the way I see you. That's it.
And it's not gonna be good.
Right. And so I've not been to video class. I've not done video production. I don't have a degree. I learned everything by watching YouTube videos. I would have two screens. I would click play right here, and then it say first click here. I would pause it there, go to this machine and say, all right, that worked. Now let me unpause this. Step 2. And so, but I hone in on my God's gift, right? Yeah. And so when you say that, there's a couple of different things. One, if I get to show you who I see you are, and I see the good in people all the time. If I do that, people tend to appreciate it and be like, Nolen, we love it. You know what I mean? That's not a problem. And then the second part to that is I literally embed a little process improvement in my videos, right? So one, video is the only medium that can evoke emotion. I can make you cry at the end of the video, or I can make you laugh at the end of the video, all right? Then two, how do you develop a clear, concise, consistent message each and every time to remove variation from that process, right? So variation is what kills business when you look at process improvement or like Six Sigma. That's what they're trying to remove, variation. One day we make 100 good widgets. The next day we make 20 good widgets. Where the hell did 80 good widgets go? You see what I'm saying? We have to be consistent. So how do you deliver that clear, concise, consistent message each and every time? And then three, embedding the call to action, right? To make sure that you tell people what you want them to do. 4, it flows with everything that from a technological standpoint that we have now, right? Facebook ads, social media, YouTube, watch it on your phone. So it's easily integrated into your sales processes and or even emails, because your inbox is the most frequently hit thing on the internet ever. You can go to Facebook, I don't know how many times, but you go look at your inbox and open up inbox messages more so than not. So when you look at all the statistics, get that clear, concise, consistent message, figure out how to integrate it and get you to shine, because I'm using that eye that God gave me. We kill it when it comes to video.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. Your your vision, it's intense because like you don't find too many, there's some, but you don't find too many that can actually just kind of filter out everything just to see like the brightness of somebody and how they say, because it's so difficult, because when you come across so many different people in the course of the day, well, not now anyway, not in this day and age, but just when we get back to normal, it's still going to be that way. And for you to still have that mindset, it was very interesting what you said to me earlier. And you were saying how you're going to work with me, and you're saying like that you like me and you see it, and I love it. Definitely, sir. I appreciate it because I feel to some degree that I not only do this, I'm actually going to classes for public speaking as well. And so it's more so like, okay, I want to get my message across. Now, defining that message, it's a journey. It's a nice journey, and I really, really appreciate any and everything that I'm finding, that those little golden nuggets along the way. So I'll say this: when you decide, like, how people have Spider-Man has Spidey sense, right? I feel like you have that in a more positive light, not for negative, but for the positive. Like you attract who you are. Exactly. And I believe you are someone that is just the real deal, but you're about your business. And I love that. Right.
Exactly. So that's my thing, is that, a lot of times the authenticity of people is a little shaky these days, right? Because everybody's looking to make money, and it's okay to make money. It's not a problem. No. But, a lot of times people are looking for not just, I'm not rich, I'm people rich. I want you to think about what I said when I started off, and as I'm thinking about it right now. When I said I started off at 19, I said my brother helped me do the shirts. He's not my biological brother, but I've been knowing him since I was 14, right? Like, he literally could go to my house, right? I'm in Houston. My mother lives in Chicago. He could literally walk in the house right now and open up the refrigerator and be like, "Hey, mama, hey, where's the milk at?" Right? She won't say nothing, but boy, it's in the other refrigerator in the back. He'd be like, "Okay," you see what I'm saying? Like, so he's literally like my brother, right? And so I said, like Anton Hilton, he's a lifelong friend of mine. I met him a while back, but I'm the dude to get people and not leave you alone. Like, so I used to work at AT&T. I got a small story. I used to work at AT&T. I used to be a trainer at AT&T, right? And so as I was a trainer at AT&T, you make friends and this, that, and the other. Well, they had a bunch of layoffs, and I had made trainer in 90 days. Like, I got off of, it's like an 8-week training series, right? Like, you train for 8 weeks. Right. And then I was on for 90 days and everything was popping. And so they were like, "We need you to train other people to do what you do." I was like, cool. So when I went to it as a trainer, I didn't have the seniority because I went to a train. So when they had to let people go, I was like one of the first ones they had to let go, because I just didn't have, you know how that works. Like, when you have the union and all of that, and I get it. And I was telling people, "Don't cry for me, Nolen Davis." I'm cool. Everything is good. So my thing is that I'm people rich, right? Because people, you reap what you sow. And because I sow seeds in the people, if I need harvest, I get it. It ain't too often I need harvest. And I know so many people. So if I call on you, let's say you and I, we start rocking and rolling 6 months down the line. We start here today on my birthday, which is a day I never forget. Start on my birthday. 6 months from now, I'm going to be trying to get you. I'm going to say, look, hey, Maya, you need to come here. Hey, I can get you featured on this show. Hey, talk about your show here. I can get you in this online magazine. I'm going to do all of these things. And I'm not asking for nothing. You just be at the top of the mind because I'm like, Maya needs this. So when I see it, I'm like, let me go on and help Maya. If I call you, you'll give me whatever I need. If I say, look, I need you to edit this video because you was talking about doing, I need you to edit this video. I can't, you'll be like, sure, Nolen, because 6 months ago when I started giving you stuff, I wasn't thinking I was going to get you to edit something 6 months down, like, got them, like, that's not the situation, right? So that's one thing, is that it's reaping and sowing. Yeah. The other part to me is that we live in a society, and I want everybody to think about this. We live in a society where a couple of things are happening. Mm-hmm. One, social media is giving everybody a voice to feel like your voice matters as much as an expert's voice on whatever it is, right? Mm. Your opinion matters as much as someone who went to school for it, who analyzed it, who has the facts, the statistics. So now, with that being said, those opinions are one of those things like you were talking about. The world is so in your face, like you really got to come up and develop something because everybody's pushing the envelope, right? So if everybody's pushing the envelope, to be seen, I need to be loud, I need to be obnoxious, I need to be all of these things. And if your opinion is different from my opinion, I got to be louder than you. I got to be bigger than you. So I'm on social media. I'm talking loud. I'm saying all of these things so I can feel like I'm somebody. We live in that type of society, right? It is. So when you live in that type of society, it gets exhausting to a certain extent, to where if you want to spread goodness, you always have to be thinking, how can my presentation go with my words, because I don't want to mean harm, but I'm still from Chicago, so you can't really just be jumping out the bag on me. Like
don't do it.
Right.
I used to live in Chicago, so no.
So that's one thing. The other thing is that people have such insecurities on top of that, of having a voice, is that, and Gary V says it best. He says, everybody wants to build their business. And if businesses was like a building, right? I want to build the biggest, most beautiful building, but I want to do it and not knock somebody else's building down. That's just right. So most people want to break you down to build themselves up. Just figure out what's wrong with your idea, what's wrong with what you're trying to bring to the table. But anybody who's done something to any type of magnitude, they thought they was crazy. Like when the dude said, look, you never seen anything fly in the sky but a bird. I'm gonna make something to where dudes can fly in the sky. Dude, you crazy. Look, we got all of these gas lights that we working with. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a light bulb and we're gonna use electric. Dude, you crazy. Like, think of all the things. So when people come up with crazy ideas, I really listen and be like, dude, how can I help you develop that idea? Because I may not have the ingenuity that you have to get it to that level, but there's always steps. That's why I say step up to greatness. There's always steps. And down here on the lower level, if you need website, if you need to magnify your voice, if you need to deliver that clear, concise, consistent message, if you need to be in front of different people speaking so you can kind of get everything together and know that you're in a loving environment, because that's what my team is. Big shout out to Up Social. So when you look at all of these different things, I may not can take you to the promised land, but I can get you to the first island or something. Like I can get you a go down the channel or something. I can get you somewhere. And so that's how I pour into people, how I see fit that I can pour into them. And then, you know, that it's that type of situation. Last thing I'm going to say on my mindset is that everything in my mind is offense and defense, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when I say offense and defense, it's people that's scared to live life and they only playing defense.
Yeah.
You can't get to heaven playing defense because you ain't scoring no points on God's board. So you just trying to outthink who you think is trying to do something to you. You trying to reposition your way, but guess what? You ain't scoring no points. You haven't sown any seeds, so you don't have any harvest. Right. Offense is sowing the seeds in the people. If you and I talk about doing some things and I say, here's the buffet, here's what I can get you. I have a networking group. I got some of the greatest people you ever wanted to meet in my network. I can call people and say, hey, look, I need you to hook up Maya with this, that, and the other. They go do it because I called them and because they know I did it for them. You understand what I'm saying? So that's that reaping and sowing.
That harvest, yeah.
Exactly. So when you look at it from a standpoint of I'll give you something, if you literally turn your back and run and take whatever little I gave you at that time, you shot yourself in the foot. Because I look at it like there's a spigot in this wall right here, right? Mm-hmm. And I got the whole ocean behind this wall, but you only see the wall and the spigot. If I give you 2 gallons of water and you can only hold 2 gallons and you run off, I'm like, I was finna give it a whole ocean. And I'm glad she just left with the 2 gallons. Like, I'm good. Mm-mm. So that's how I look at things. So I operate from a different realm. And that's what I was saying before, the impact that you make, right? The impact, if I don't see the good in you, then how can I help you develop what your vision is, right?
That's true.
Most people are just trying to figure out how something is not going to work, which those are haters, by the way. If you're waiting for me to fail, if you're looking to point out every little mistake that I've made, dude, mistakes is what get you experience, and experience is what gets you wisdom, and wisdom is what builds a legacy. It's a chain reaction.
It is. It really is.
So I got to make these mistakes. Let's get it. That's how I look at it, right? So
you have to, and it's a learning curve. You know, absolutely. You have to learn. If you don't learn, and it's just given to you, you're gonna squander it. You know, and no, don't do that. I'm working hard, sir. So this is why I do what I do, because I'm like, understand, it's okay. Let me give you a hug. This is a virtual hug, but nevertheless, it's to you. You know, to you in particular. So I'm I'm totally shocked about this interview, like totally like off. I'm like, oh my goodness, I did not know that all that was gonna come from Mr. Nolen, because like I'm sitting there like, okay, he's just gonna be really proper. He's gonna say what he's gonna say because he's such a big deal. And I'm thinking like, okay, it's gonna be a big deal. So I'm just like, he's gonna be like, okay, this is all the time I have. Let's go. And I've had that, you know. But it's that's fine with me. And I'm like, you know what? He is so chill. I did not see that coming.
Hey, I'm probably one of the most authentic people you've ever wanted to meet. Because I remember starting companies and failing, right? I remember that. I'm not to the point to where, and I don't think I ever get to this point, to where it's a situation of I've done all of this struggle and I've come through my journey and now I look down on others. The only reason I'm elevated is to reach down and pull somebody up with me, right? And so it's, you know, with us having a crew, here's my thing. If you're always being methodical, you're never being authentic.
That's true.
If you always trying to figure out how do I get the next deal, how do I get them to sign, how do I do this, that, and the other, beware of that person, because you definitely need to have strategy. You definitely need to execute your plans. I totally understand that. But sometimes people are always methodical. Wow. And if you're always methodical, I don't even know when to trust you. Like, because I don't know if if you're doing this to make me feel some type of way, for me to put my guard down, for like the pastor say at the end of church, like the doors of the church is open. You know what I mean? Like so you can just come in and do whatever you want to do. I'm trying to tell you, when you find the people that you really want to build with, you find your tribe, the people you want to surround yourself with, the people that are like you, and you take into account that competition really is nothing. And what I mean by that is that it's people that they come up and they playing ball against somebody, then they get a business, I get a business, and we've been going back and forth since middle school. And I'm like, Larry is my arch nemesis, right? And so I just need to beat Larry. How many kids he got? Then I got to get 3 kids. You see how his wife is fine. I got to get a finer wife than this dude, right? You going back up. Like when you die, God is not going to say, did you beat Larry? No, go to hell. Like he's not. It's all about you being your best. Now, competition does bring out the potential to make you stretch and go further. So if you have friendly competition, I totally get it. But it's people that's genuinely hating on others, that they watching, they don't know their backstory, they don't know anything. I got a guy, a good friend of mine. I call him T'Challa because he looks like Black Panther, right?
Sure.
But this is my man, Mythica Pickett. I don't know if you know Myth or not. So Mythica, he's definitely a dude you need to have on the show. That's kind of like my brother. Tell him I said that, right? So So Myth has a nonprofit called We See Abilities, and so he helps with all of the kids that have disabilities, and he brings them all together, and he does all of these different events like Mr. Wonderful, right? He does all of these events like he washes kids' feet and give them shoes, right? Like I was a part of that. If you look, you know what? On my website, you'll see, or on YouTube, go to Sight versus Vision, Step Up to Greatness. No, go to Step Up to Greatness, Sight versus Vision. And it should be 2 videos. One is with Mythica speaking. But anyway, and you can see kind of what the one where he's speaking in the video. There's one where I do my motivational speech, and then there's one where he's speaking, right? The one where he's speaking, you literally see him watching the kids' feet, get brand new shoes, putting on their feet, and it's all kids with disabilities to make them feel as special, and then washing the feet like Jesus did, right? So it's one of those situations that he was upset one day, and he called me and he said, "Big bro, this whole thing, people are just so they turning on me." And I was like, "What do you mean? People don't feel like I deserve, the grace that I'm getting right now, the favor that I'm getting right now, the doors that are opening up for me." But a lot of people don't even realize his mom left him on the side of the road, and he had to fend for himself, right? So the doors that's opening up for him now, that he literally could have been off to the streets, that he chose as a choice to wash people's feet like they do in the Bible, to show I love, the purest way to show I love and respect you, right? And to make somebody feel something, and to leave that memory in somebody's mind that they'll never forget. So you could say you forgot your 5th grade teacher, you forgot this teacher, but you'll be like, I remember this day, the only day that somebody literally got on their knees, washed my feet, and gave me brand new shoes. That's a memory that you would never forget, right? So all of this came out of his head and out of his heart. He created this whole situation, and for somebody to hate on him, right? Or not see, but people don't know what you've been through. So when you go through certain things, and now it's time for your harvest because you sown seeds, right? People only see your harvest, and they don't see when you crying behind closed doors and you like, I'm at my wit's end, I don't know what I'm gonna do. They don't see when you fall to your knees and you begging God, why are you doing this to me? I'm doing the best that I can. See me? They don't see those things, right? I understand that that comes with going for success. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So when I see somebody that they need help, like the help that people act like they need in front of you is not the help that they seem like they need behind closed doors. Because I've been that dude, right? You don't want to feel like a failure because most of the people is like, you can't do it to begin with. So you got to try to go against all of these people and that's not going to work and this, that, and the other. And you laying at night like, I can't sleep. Like God put this on me and I physically can't sleep or rest until I'm in motion going toward my journey of what I need to do. I feel for those people. I'm him. So when you look at people and everybody's so quick to tear somebody else down, you don't know their story. You don't know what God put on their heart. You don't know what makes them work. And just because if you in it just for the money, that's cool. I'm in it to change lives. And that's cool. One is not better than the other. I'm just made different than you are.
That's true.
That's it. I use this as an analogy. I've been liking peanut butter for a long time. My wife is the complexion of peanut butter. I was like, when I saw her, I was like, girl, you look delicious. You see what I'm talking about? I would still drop 4 to 5 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches right now at the age of 47, right? So peanut butter has been good to me, right? But somebody who has a peanut allergy could die from the same peanut butter that I love so much. Is that a right or wrong? That's just my truth and your truth. That's it. So people need to stay in their lane. That's it. Like everybody want to compare. How do you compare if you have a peanut butter allergy? I know I can beat you eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches every day. There's no competition. You get what I'm saying? So people need to stay in their own lane. And so I just try to help people when I see the superpower that each person has and the potential that they have. And I shed light on it and I speak to that with the groups that we have. And so even my networking group, you got networking groups out there that's like $600, $1,200 a year. My networking group is $25 a month. Cause I don't need, look, I don't need your $25. And if you're not the right pedigree, you can't roll with my pack like that. Like, and it's on a month to month. If you tripping this month, next month, your money don't spin here. Like you can't get back into the fold. I'm looking for great people that have the mindset and the heart set. The mindset is not it no more, right? Yeah. Like it used to be just, we got to have the right mindset. Your mindset will get you wherever you need to go. I totally agree with that. But when you're trying to create a tribe, when you're trying to create the people that you want to share your legacy with and build your business and be in a safe space to come up with your next idea, that's what we created Up Social Network. That's exactly what we create. Absolutely. So you know, there's a couple of different things. One thing is that people start off like just like with the mindset that you have right now, right? You like the first 10 to 15 were crappy, right? Right. When we got Windows, we didn't go directly to Windows 10 where we are now. We had Windows 95, Windows XP, Windows 2000, you get what I'm saying? Like, so there's an evolution, right? Yeah. It's like like people don't look at things that way. Like, so when I first started doing videos, those videos don't look like the videos I have right now, right? There's an evolution. If I give you a basketball right now, you probably, and if the first time you held the basketball and you shot it, I'm almost 100% sure you didn't make it. No. And if you did make the first one, it was beginner's luck, you didn't make the second one. You see what I'm saying? So it comes with that practice of continuously putting it out there, continuously doing it, continuously learning, and know that there's going to be an evolution, right? Yeah. When you know that there's going to be an evolution, there's no need for insecurity because this is my practice. It depends on where I end up. Now, here's the other part to it. People will say, oh, because people are fickle. You can't go by people, right? So you can't, because people will say, oh, that ain't gonna work. That's not it. And then you still stay with it and you persist. And then before you know it, you getting an award. And they be like, I knew she was gonna do it. I knew you was gonna do it, right?
No.
That's how people get down. I'm telling
They
you.
do.
Right.
They
People, that's exactly how people get down. So what you have to do is you have to be very mindful and conscious of your journey and know where you are in your journey. If you're at the screwing up stage, man, screw up as fast as you can so you can learn as much as you can, as much, as many times as you can, so you can get that experience that goes to wisdom, because wisdom, experience only comes through making mistakes.
That's
You don't
true.
have, like, if everything you did, every time you did it the first time, it was perfect, you would be sitting around stupid as hell, like thinking everything I do is I know how to do this. And there's somebody that literally thinks that's right. There's somebody who got some luck or got some favor or had their parents have money and put them in the right positions, and now they got all nothing but yes men around them, and they don't really know what it is from an evolutionary standpoint of saying, I started here. I started by doing 10 push-ups a day. It's easy to give me glory when I'm at 100 push-ups, right? And say, oh my God, you're doing 100 push-ups, but how many people laughed at me when I could only do 10 or couldn't do 10, right? I'm the dude to when you couldn't do 10 and you was at 8, I'm like, dude, it's somebody who can't do 1. So take that 8, right? So take that 8, eat you some peanut butter because it's full with protein, right?
Yes.
And let's see if we can do 10 tomorrow. And how about I get down here and do them with you, right?
Exactly. That's me. Yes.
Right. So that's exactly the team of people in my network of who we have within our network. So it's we just really want to spit life into each other, because we know that's needed to become as legendary as we want, and for our ideas and our heart to impact as many people as we can to make this world a better place. Because if we fall in the rhythm of everyone else of trying to break them down to build myself up, I use this analogy with my kids all the time. I say, if there's a doctor, there's a lawyer, there's a mechanic, and there's a daycare specialist all in the room, who's the smartest person in the room, right? And so they start thinking, well, the doctor can save somebody's life. Yes, that is important, right? The attorney, he goes to the attorney, he goes to school almost just as long as the doctor, and he knows all of the clauses and he does. And they're like, okay, well, I'm gonna pick the doctor. That sounds good if somebody faints, but if your car breaks down, the mechanic is the smartest person in the room. If you got a kid in the room and they crying and don't shut up, the daycare professional is the smartest person, which means that everybody gets their time to shine. I ain't got to try to outshine you on what you do. I just need to wait for my opportunity to shine. And if I'm in circles and areas and environments to where I can't shine, this world is a big enough place for me to go where my purpose and my passion is needed, where my God gift is needed. If you sitting around and cats is drinking and they just telling jokes, and it's a time for that. But if you got purpose and you feel like this is not it, then you need to get up and go find it and go where you are needed. So that's my thing. So we make sure I have a plethora of people. Like I said, I'm people rich. That you can say, Nolen, I need anything, and I bet you I can find somebody who can do it. And now I just become that vehicle to plug people in where their passion and everything is needed. So that's it.
I need that. I think a lot of people do. Everybody
Absolutely.
has something, but if you don't search for it and find the resource, then it's like you really didn't want it in the first place and you don't deserve it. So that's how I look at it to some degree, because I'm like, you want to change your life.
Right. Right.
Why not try to do something, anything different, you know? The
But
resources are there.
but people are afraid to fail.
That's true,
That's
but
the
you can't be
thing.
afraid. You
I
can't.
know it. That's why we try to make it as safe as possible. And we want to make sure that each person, it's more about each person feeling valued, right? You if you have the experience with me to where you feel needed and you feel appreciated at the same time, like we really appreciate you, look at what you've done, I put you on, like literally what you do, there's two things I can do for you right here right now.
Okay.
Ain't cost you nothing. One, I can get you on other people's shows so you can promote your show and tell your story. And two, I can use you as a media outlet to bring amazing people for you to interview, and they will come just off of my word.
Yes.
You see what I'm
Yes.
saying? But that's how the right. Let's raise the roof. But that's how it works when we people. I had somebody call me last night and say, Nolen, I need this. I said, hold on one second. I called somebody on three-way. I was like, you need to meet this person. This person needs to meet that person. I think you would be perfect for this. They was like, oh my God, it was a TV opportunity, right? They were like, oh my God, I love to do that. Not a problem. Hey, everybody good? Y'all exchange numbers. I'm out. Bow. We gone. Throw down smoke bombs. Right. Throw down smoke bombs. Disappear in the fog like it's Samurai Sunday. Like,
Drop the mic and just leave the room.
come on, let's chill. So that's why my radio show is StepUP Radio. It's self-discipline, right? And so everything I do is step up or up. Up is unleashing potential. So up social network, everything going up, but unleashing potential. Step up to greatness is what my motivational speeches are. But step is self-discipline. Anything in this life you got to work for. That's going through practice. That's going through the like I told you, watching YouTube, figuring it out, whatever it is, you got to have self-discipline. Talent is your God-given talent, right? And everybody has their own God-given talent, something that God instilled in you. And if you don't feel like you have it, you just ain't been in the right circles and you ain't found it yet. And sometimes navigating through all of these different things that we do, you find a piece of it here, a piece of it there, and then before you know it, you got the recipe for success. Because everybody you meet, especially you and what you're doing, everybody you meet literally is an ingredient, right? So you can take 2 bags or 2 teaspoons, or you can say that's too tart. I don't need that in my recipe for success, but you tried the ingredient, right? So talent, everybody has their own God-given talent. The E is experience and or environment. It's certain things that your mother taught you that my mother didn't teach me. It's certain things that geographically, if you lived in Alaska and I live in Africa, there's certain things that we learn in our environment and in our through our experiences that nobody else. So when you accompany self-discipline, talent, your experience, and your purpose, what are you passionate about? That to me is your fingerprint of success. Nobody else has those same 4. We could both work out together, but that don't mean that your talent and my talent, your experience and my experience, and we both can be passionate about it, but those are the factors that make us us to where that's our fingerprint on the world of success or becoming legendary.
Yes. And you know what? You said a whole mouthful, sir. You did. Like, you ran it down to us, the type of people that we can be, the type of people we are, and the people that are around us that we can to pretty much benefit off, you know, and different things like that to get to where we need to be. And you are so right. You know, when you have those ingredients, you just definitely don't always want to follow the certain pattern, but you might want to just kind of throw that cinnamon in there. You get that nutmeg in there, you know, get a couple pecans, go crush it and do the daggone thing. You know what? You are amazing. And I'm so appreciative of this time that you've given me. You are awesome. Okay,
Thank
so
you.
I will give you my information. Hopefully you'll you'll like, share, and subscribe, and as well to the people that are listening as well. Please like, share, subscribe, and you guys, if you have any questions for Mr. Nolen, please let us know. Give us a comment. I will get in contact with him to, offer up any insight or anything that you guys may need just to kind of go forth and go on. I just want the best for everyone. Everything that I do is because I have such a big heart. I just want to love on people. I just want people to, be happy, be healthy, be all they can really be. I'm going to close out. I thank you so much for joining, Lady Maya. I'm going to have his information on the description below. Please like, subscribe, and share. I will have Mr. Nolen's link in the description as well. You guys, thank you so much, sir. I appreciate you greatly. And everyone, thank you so much for living your best life with Lady Maya. And I will hope that you guys will join me on my next interview. And it's going to be amazing, you guys. Love you so much. You guys have a most wonderful day.